As the president, what are some of the challenges that you have with having so many corporate locations and franchise locations just in Canada?
I mean, it's a very, very good team. We do focus on operations. So we have a full operations team that are out visiting sites, as well as we invest in food safety audits, as well as secret shoppers to help our franchisees. And really, it's about working collaboratively with whether it's our GMs or our franchisees to build the business. So lots of meetings with our franchise group, lots of reviews of plans and making sure we have it right, testing. We make sure before we put anything in the market, we test things, we get it right. And it's really, really big focus on operations. And, Craig, who's our COO, has been in the business 35 years. I always joke that he could feel in his right knee if, the temperature of a fryer is off in Saskatoon. And so we definitely, it's all about the operations, it's all about the guest experience. And it's really everything that the team does is really, really focuses on that and making sure as they deliver. And what that has created is a great culture across the brand, as well as just this constant SRS growth. And, because we work across a couple different brands, and whether you see QSR, McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever, they're always having to bring new news to the market to try to get people to pull off the road. Where New York Fries, the mall is the one that really generates the traffic. And so for New York Fries, it's all about consistency and all about quality. So we're not constantly creating innovation that sort of messes up operations, or you're constantly training people. It's really about training people to deliver this amazing fry every single time. And that's what keeps people coming back.
Sure. What's the investment range on a US based franchise?
Will depend on the region and the cost. It's really the cost to build the location.
Mm-hmm.
So, the perfect situation is, in a food court, you would take over someone else's space and you wouldn't have to modify it that much. Or it's in shell condition and build it accordingly. So, we're just working through build costs, and it depends whether you're in Florida for non-union versus Long Island with union. The range changes, but it's somewhere between sort of that 500 to 750 range to build it kind of from shell condition.
I'm curious, David, if somebody would be looking to invest in a franchise, and obviously you guys have had tremendous success for a long time. What comes to my mind is one of the challenges is that, we do have malls that are dying in the United States. Yeah. And how do you guys properly, steer that franchise location in the right mall and knowing what mall is thriving and, what malls to avoid?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there's no question that, with the onslaught of e-commerce and COVID that, everyone thought malls were going to die. And what's actually great is they haven't died, that they're becoming entertainment hubs.
Right.
And, certainly A and AAA malls are, they're growing traffic significantly. And a lot of retailers are becoming more showcases, and it's about entertainment. And, the ultimate one is if you're from New York, if you ever get to go to American Dream, bring your running shoes and like 3 days worth of energy to tour that one. But it certainly is, so malls are not dying, which is great. There are some C and D malls that are struggling, but we have traffic numbers for all the malls. We're very targeted to make sure we're going into, AAA centers that there's lots of growth and lots of potential in, and the size of the space, the rent, all of that is commensurate to the traffic. So you do pay accordingly because we're in almost every mall in Canada. We're in some AAA malls, but we're also in some B and C malls. But we still work in those B and C malls because of our smaller box, our footprint, our low food cost, and our low labor costs. That allows us to really thrive in that environment.
Sure. So you guys are coming to New York and New Jersey first. And makes sense. Are you guys looking to expand regionally in the U.S. initially, or is this going to be a shotgun approach and go to the best possible malls throughout the United States?
Yeah, so it's certainly regionally is the short-term focus. We're open to having the right partners find us the right locate, like work with us. But right now, the East Coast, I would say, is really the main focus from kind of New York down, through Maryland down to Florida. As well as open to the Midwest. And really what we're looking for is the right partners, people that understand the space, understand malls, people that may already have experience with snack brands that operate in malls. And so that's kind of our focus right now, is really sort of that area. The West Coast, I'd say we're open to, but not actively, we won't be actively marketing in that area. at least in the short term.
Do you see this more as a multi-unit operator play where they're operating some other brands and adding on New York Fries to their portfolio?
Yeah, I think we're open to that, as well as open to, you know, them owning certain regions as well. So yeah, we're probably open to both situations, and I think there's quite a few people that operate. Well, we know there's quite a few large franchisees that operate in malls, and you know, they may want another brand within their portfolio, and they already have their ops team managing those mall centers. So it provides good synergy for them.
Cool. What does training look like?
So we usually it's about a 4 to 5 week program where people come in and they learn kind of from top to bottom, running a New York Fries. We also have an online training system that we work with, as well as obviously our ops field team is out there working with our franchisees and our teams to make sure that, you know, they're well trained and certified and ready to rock every day.
So when they get through training, the build out time obviously varies depending on, you know, where the location is. What is your target to try to get somebody up and running?
You know, I mean, there's obviously all the franchising paperwork. It always seems to take a lot longer from the time you get the site to the time you build it. To the positive is, you know, the locations we'll be looking at are malls, you know, walking malls, those type of stuff. So the infrastructure is set up in those places in terms of venting and whatnot. So, you know, usually it's a 90-day fixturing period, and just the time that it's going to take to get the lease and the franchising documents done, you know, is probably usually another sort of, depends on the situation. If it's a existing multi-unit franchisee that's looking to expand, or a new franchisee, and just going through that process.
Sure. Well, you know, and franchisee success varies from, you know, unit to unit. It's not necessarily the location, you know, either, but is there something you would say is a trait that you found of all of your Canadian franchises of what makes somebody the most successful?
Yeah, I think, you know, I think it's anything with anything in life, people that are passionate, people that care. You know, you can always tell those engaged operators, they know what's going on in their restaurants. Even if they're not there every day, they have great teams in the restaurants that they've incented properly. And really it's about, you know, the love of the brand. And, you know, it's a high margin model. And if you can, you know, really make it hunt, it's a really great opportunity. And, you know, we always joke internally here that, you know, don't ever get fired. Just don't give me a severance package. Just let me have one New York Fries to go off into the sunset with. So it's really about, you know, I'd say the passion for delivering a high quality product. We are, New York Fries is a premium brand. We do charge a premium for fresh cut fries. It's a premium quality product, and you know, we don't discount. It's really all about that, selling a premium product, and you know, making sure you deliver on that every day, right? And you know, there's great brands in the market that have been able to do that, like Chipotle and Starbucks, and you know, we're in that ilk here in Canada, and you know, it's about building that. And you know, I literally review and read every consumer review every morning, and so does the team. So, you know, we're laser focused on that guest experience.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fumey, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.